Welcome. Sorry for that couple minutes delay. I couldn't see either of them on my side, on the tech side. But we're here. We're here now, and yeah, we're gonna do some post rookie mock drafts, and hopefully, we're gonna be able to compare them to last week's results. Are we gonna be able to do that? I probably should have asked about that before I said it.
We'll be able to do that. I could just pull them up each at a time.
We'll probably have to pull them up one at a time. But otherwise, we'll be, we can view.
I would need to get everything in one screenshot. I need to do that all at the same moment.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
It'd probably be pretty hard.
Yeah, that would probably also just confuse.
We still have last week's mock draft to look at.
So. No, that's all good. And I hope everyone enjoyed my stream during the draft. I mean, you guys were there. Ryan was there the whole time. Akash, you were there for a lot of it.
Yeah,
I thank you for coming on and doing that. And I just thank everyone who watched. It had a lot of views. A lot of people, it seemed a lot of people tuned in for a short period of time, but I appreciate that, just coming in and checking in on what I'm doing. I know it's a lot of streams, a lot of competition. And did I put these here?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Got it.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm ahead of the game today.
Yeah, you're ahead and I'm behind. So, we have, a mix of things.
Hold on. I need to pull this one up for those who may not know. It's the Falcons.
Awesome. It's the Falcons. Hold on.
If I'm ever so wrong, correct me, but I'm pretty sure I was right.
So yeah, we didn't really do this on the last show. I'm a little out of sorts today, but Akash, why don't you tell the people a little bit more about what you do as we wait for these mocks to fill? But we're doing well.
Yeah,
we're doing well on filling them.
Only
that superflex soon.
Yeah, only a couple more spots. Get in while you can, guys. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm Akash. You can find me. I'm on Twitter, YZR_fantasy. I have a podcast with my friend Dynasty_IM. We're on YouTube and Spotify. I'm also co-host of the Dynasty Trade Calculator flagship podcast, which is really fun. I joined them earlier this year, earlier in the off season. It's been a lot of fun with them.
I did not know that.
No,
I did not know that.
I
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun with them. They're great, industry veterans. So it's been cool. But I'm also in. If you guys know Drew Ozenchuk, the Bulletproof Fantasy Football, I'm over there in his Discord as an analyst. I'm over there sometimes just talking about football with everyone. And yeah, so you can find me. Maybe I'll make my own Patreon soon. Who knows? Do
you like my virtual background?
I do. That's good.
Get rid of that nonsense that I have in the background.
Looks like you're doing a stand-up show. I like it.
Yeah. I kind of like it because I have a bunch of shit in my background. And, now
maybe I'd stop getting dead comments if I use the virtual background.
I don't have to hear about my bed being made or not made.
Yeah, I should totally get.
Do we like that better?
Backgrounds.
Yeah, looks a lot more fancy. Ryan, you should make your bed, and then move your mic, move your chair, take a picture of it, and just set it as your background for every stream, so it looks like your bed's made.
Oh my gosh, you're genius!
I love messing around.
Thinking 3 steps ahead. I'm gonna have to do that. Investments, future me will appreciate that.
That's showbiz, baby. Hell yeah.
Factual. We actually got 2 spots left. Trogdor just joined.
Oh, I love Trogdor.
It's the last 2 spots in the Superflex draft.
Yep.
But
I don't know how we're doing on the 1 QB. Let me look. We need a couple of spots.
The 1 QB could do a little bit better, but
okay. It's the same ADP anyways. You just got
it's the same
pretty
ADP.
Much, yeah. I think there's going to be less difference. Oh, I don't like this virtual background. You can't. We're gonna sort this out before next week.
I have to as well. I have to as well with the bed,
I'm gonna sort that out and get that together. But until
then, Cal for the other stuff. Cal has some nice ones. Cal's really big on the virtual backgrounds.
Yeah, I know, but it works better for him. All right. I hate from Jesse. Let's start with the question. So we're gonna start. I'll go through the chat first. Then we'll look at we had a little bit of news. We also have a list. We didn't stream for day 3. So I have a list of day 3 landing spots, but I think we can just kind of talk about that as we go.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't come up enough during the mocks, we can cover that later.
It's not all of them, but it's the ones that are gonna probably be drafted. Rookie drafts, maybe be on the border.
Yeah, I have all of them, so don't worry about that.
That's the bases covered. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I have all of them. I have my Patreon sheet that I just updated. So I've completed, I would say my initial rookie rankings are completed. Everybody that I wanted to include has been included. So, if you're a patron and you're looking at it and there's someone who's not on there, they're supposed to not be there. This is, I would call this what's up on my Patreon now on the ranking spreadsheet. Call that my first pass of rookie rankings.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, let's get into the news. Start with that.
For sure. I mean, there's not much. We go through this real quick. I mean,
yeah, do it real quick. But
a cautious squad cut Mike Davis, so I guess that's good for Cordarrelle Patterson.
No, that's cool. That's whatever.
It's not major news. We don't got anything like groundbreaking over here, but I feel like that's worth a mention because they did just draft Tyler Algier on day 3 as well.
Yeah, and I do think that matters. No,
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Draft a running back, cut the veteran who was really, really bad last year. I mean, Mike Davis, I think, was a goner no matter what. Signed Damian Williams. It's a real who's who back there, really.
Yeah.
Algier can carve out a role for himself if he's good enough. It's not like there's anyone standing in his way. It's just if he steps up, he'll be all right.
I mean, I'm not super in on him, but, I do think.
Yeah, there's no reason to be super in on him. He's a 5th rounder. It's just whatever. It's just like, maybe, if there's no one there, maybe he gets lucky,
Yeah, but, you always want to take your shot on running backs, right? I mean, if you're going to take a shot on somebody, it's always running backs. And we'll see in the mock drafts. We'll talk about that. But I do think it was important to note that Davis was cut. I would say, I don't know. I mean, in deep leagues, you could stash Damian Williams on the back of your bench. He has no dynasty value, but you know how it is with a running back. If those playoff games for the Chiefs had been during the regular season, Jerick McKinnon would have suddenly had value for a couple of games. So,
yeah,
you can always stash those kind of players, but I wouldn't. Obviously, don't spend anything on him. So that was the Davis news. I don't think that's that interesting. And then what about the next one? Let's go on to that one.
Yeah, Baker's off the table for the Panthers after they drafted Matt Corral. I guess trade talks were kind of there, and then they kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're going to go to Baker at this point. I don't really know. It's getting to the point where it kind of looks like, I mean, where can Baker and Jimmy really go and start? We're running out of room, no?
Yeah, somewhat. A lot of teams got their choices. I think Seattle's still in play for Baker. I think for Jimmy G, I don't know. Maybe there's still room for him in Carolina if they really like him, but I think it'd be a lot more. I think we see Baker go somewhere before Jimmy G just because of the injury to Jimmy G and the contract seems a lot more prohibitive to him getting moved. He said that he's not gonna be able to throw till July, so is he gonna get moved before then? Probably not.
I do think that since the 49ers can save $25 million by cutting Jimmy G, obviously there's no way they're gonna hold him onto the roster during the season and pay him $25 million, right? I mean, I can't imagine that.
I know. I'm the same way. It's crazy. That seems like a lot of money for a backup. So unless they plan on starting,
I don't get it. I've been the one that's saying though that the Browns are vindictive enough just to keep Baker Mayfield on the roster the whole year. They have to pay him the 18.8 anyway. It's fully guaranteed.
But would they pay that? That's the question.
No, but they have to. It's fully guaranteed. They're paid either way.
No, but if they can. They only have to pay a fraction of it if they cut him or if they trade him.
No, Baker. If they cut him, they pay the full amount. So if they trade him,
So if they trade him, they only pay the half.
but I've heard that some teams, and I read this a little bit, and I've heard some teams are saying you have to give us a pick. You have to give us a pick for us to take Baker Mayfield. So if the choice is I don't think they're going to cut him. I do not think they're going to cut him. Period. Nor do I think they're going to trade a pick to make him go away. I think that if someone is not willing to give them a pick and pick up $2-3 million of the salary, Baker Mayfield will sit and rot on the Cleveland roster all year.
I don't know. I heard some people on NFL Network on day 3 of the draft. I just had it on, and they're talking about how there's no way he's on the roster just because things are so broken there.
I think there's no way he's on the roster, and there's no way he plays are not the same thing. There's no way he plays. If Watson gets suspended, he's not going to play. But there's no way he's on the roster is a different conversation. We dealt with, Houston carried Deshaun Watson on the roster last year all year.
Right, yeah, so they could trade him.
There's precedent for this type of thing.
They carried Watson because his trade value was lower with all the allegations. So they just wanted to hold him and trade him later. Yeah,
I do think that the Browns will not just cut Baker Mayfield under any circumstances. I don't see why they would. What do they gain? Just getting rid of a distraction? I don't think that's worth it. I think they just let him rot over doing that. Mm-hmm. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the Browns organization, if that's not obvious. And I do think they're the type of organization that would do something like that. Jimmy G obviously is not going to be there because the 49ers can save $25 million by getting rid of him. So he's going to be gone. And I do think there's a likely outcome is that Jimmy G is actually Seattle starter. That the 49ers release him a week before the season, and suddenly he is on the plane to Seattle. But we'll see. So that covered Baker. And then some reports state that Kenny Pickett can be the week 1 starter for Pittsburgh. At least Mike Tomlin is not an idiot like Matt Nagy and deciding the competition before it started. Yeah. At least it's going to be a fair competition, and then we'll see. We'll see. If you draft a quarterback in the first round, you would think that player should have an opportunity to gain the starting job. If he plays well in camp and he's good and you think your team would be better with him starting week 1, they should do that, right? You shouldn't lock yourself into a decision before in May when the season is in September. But what do you guys think? I still expect Mitch Trubisky to start week 1 would be my prediction.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of times you see the veterans start over the rookie unless it's a really, really good rookie or like a really high draft pick. But even then you sometimes see them sit. So Kenny Pickett picked at pick 20. I think that he'll sit and then should eventually come in like most first-round rookie quarterbacks do. They don't expect Mitch Trubisky to hold the job forever, although that's always a chance that something happens.
There's a chance.
We never know, technically.
Yeah.
Pickett will eventually start. I think that Tomlin's smart for keeping it open, but it should be Trubisky week 1.
I do think this is somewhere in between the Dalton and Garoppolo situations last year. Whereas, I don't know what they were doing with Dalton, but he started 2 games and then they went to Fields, and Garoppolo ended up starting the whole year. I would predict that we see Kenny Pickett around week 9.
Yeah.
So in between those things.
Somewhere in the range. For sure.
I also think Trubisky is better than Dalton, but not as good as Garoppolo. So, we'll see. I do think, though, again, it's another kind of thing where if Trubisky's winning, they won't make the move just to make it.
Because I bet they feel like they can still compete in the division because they made the playoffs last year. They've had a winning season for every year that Tomlin's been there. And so if Trubisky's winning, I think it's smart.
I disagree with that assessment. But
right. I don't think they can compete either. But, these teams always have that eternal optimism in themselves.
That's fair. What do we think about okay, so that's all the news, all the extra news. There was other news, but we talked about that all on the live stream. Don't go and watch the 7.5 hours, but we did talk about it, and I'll talk about the news as it comes up, because I do think one thing that's important to note today at 3:00, so 15 minutes ago, the NFL free agency rules changed. After that time, any free agent signings no longer count against the comp pick formula, the compensatory pick formula. So And now last year, we saw a lot of free agent signings happen right after that. The first week of May, right after that. I do think that we will, in the next week, see Jarvis. I don't think Jarvis Landry, Will Fuller, Julio Jones, and Sony Michel, and also probably Darrell Williams. I don't think their careers are over. I just think that nobody was rushing to sign them pre-draft, and nobody wanted to sign them enough to, mess up their comp formula. But now that we're past that and you can sign them with no penalty, I do think that in the next week, those players will all have landing spots. And, Michelle, Fuller, and Landry, to me, matter.
Yeah.
Darrell Williams and Julio Jones, not so much. Julio Jones is just AJ Green. 2021 AJ Green.
Don't say it. It hurts.
I think that's what he is. I mean,
it's true, but it hurts.
It hurts. But if you look at what AJ Green did in 2021, you really expect? Are you expecting more than that from Julio? I mean, last year,
I'm not.
Green had 800. Actually, a lot more than I thought. 54 receptions, 848, and 3.
Yeah.
I think that would be great if Julio did that.
Julio can get signed as a veteran contributor.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just
but Landry and Fuller, I think, are the ones. Landry is not washed.
No, he's not. He's still good.
There's nothing wrong with him. He just was on a terrible fit for his skill set.
Terrible team last year. Had a couple injuries himself.
He needs to play in the slot, and he was on a team playing a bunch of 12. He just didn't belong there. He didn't belong on the Browns. But I think a team that, needs a slot receiver would really benefit from signing Jarvis Landry. How about the Bears? I think so. The Bears are just a disaster. Yeah, but the Bears are a disaster.
I feel like the Packers still make sense.
The Packers, I do think the Packers would they could sign Jarvis Landry. That would be interesting. I still think they're interested in Will Fuller.
I think they should be interested in both, and whatever deals they can make that are better than.
Absolutely.
You got decrepit Randall Cobb in the slots, or whatever Amari Rodgers is doing with his 4 catches last year. It's not going to work if you're
it's not a great fantasy fit, but New Orleans, we know Jarvis visited with New Orleans, and they don't. Yeah. I mean, he could fit in there, although it's kind of weird.
Yeah, he visited before they drafted Olave. Maybe they made that move because of what happened with the visit. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he also could just go back to the Browns.
Yeah.
He fits in just fine there.
All of them would be fine fits because wherever Landry goes, I expect him to be productive.
I don't know if we're going to be starting Landry much in fantasy, but
I think we could.
Depends on the landing spot.
Yeah. If he's because he's, like you said, he's not washed. Still had like a 25% target share last year, in line with the rest of his career. I heard people talking about how he had no yards after catch, which means he's washed. But
he's never had. When did he ever have yards?
He never did.
So nothing's changed, right?
Nothing changed. Plus, he was hurt last year, and so he's
that's true.
He's still earning targets.
So that's all the news. So let's run through some of these questions, and then we'll get into these mocks. I hate the 102 and 103 in Superflex. I have both in 2 separate leagues. Well, I understand why. Right?
It's not the 101, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And the 102 looked a lot better before Malik Willis was a blonde. But 102 and 103 can still be valid. I think trading out of them, like exploring your options, is definitely good because they're not. Well, I like Drake London, but exploring your options is definitely good. I think you can get some really good players for those picks if you try. And if not, and then falling back and on drafting some really good receivers, there's never a bad option. I know you like Kenneth Walker, Tyler.
I do, but I don't really have any. To me, and I don't know, I want to hear what you guys think about this, because to me, in my startup rankings, and I've done these rankings, now we talked about this on the stream, but I was trying to adjust the rankings while we were on the show. I've had plenty of time to adjust them now, but on this, nothing has changed. I have, Walker, Wilson, London, and Burks back to back to back to back in my startup rankings. Essentially no difference for me between the 102 and the 105. I have no difference, none at all. So I don't know how you guys feel about this, and I want to hear, both of you, your opinions. But for me, if I had the 102, I would try to trade down to the 105 and just take whatever I could get. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel differently
No,
or
I'm
have
with
it
you.
tiered differently.
I think the tiers would be slightly different, but I'm with you. I'm with that mentality for sure.
Yeah, I'm with it as well, but it's been so difficult to trade back in the rookie draft that I already had.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone's
it's been-
thinking the same way as us.
I am happy. In Trade Addicts 8, I got a little lucky. Like, I have the 101 and the 105, so I'm just going to sit there.
Man,
and
I made
just-
this crazy trade yesterday where I traded down from 101 to 110, and I got something crazy back. I'm trying to pull it up and show you guys. It was it's a 10-teamer, and I had the 101. And when I traded back, I got, let's see, I traded back from 101 to 110. I swapped TJ Hawkinson for Noah Fant, so I got Fant, gave Hawkinson, and then I gave Carson Wentz and got Deshaun Watson.
What?
That'll do it.
What? I love it.
Hell of a trade.
All right, let's. Okay, so yeah, I think we agree with Jesse that the at value we'd much rather have the 104 or 105 than 102 or 103.
Yeah, unless
Hot
unless your league mates are being sticklers about trading down. Like I like at this
A lot of
point,
them are.
and I've seen this in startups too, where everyone's saying trade down, trade down, trade down, always accrue value. That it's become kind of cheap to trade up, and so I'm interested if the price is right.
I
Yeah.
will say that I have not seen that. I think that that's true when you're playing with 12 of you, but not really. Not in your general leagues.
Yeah.
Trading down is still the move in your average Dynasty league.
If I'm on
But-
leagues with people from Twitter who also like do similar things to me, trying to make content and also spend as much time on Dynasty, then I think it's more of everyone's trying to trade down. But I'm with you. I joined this league of just a bunch of people from like a Discord and some sleeper, some of like the sleeper forums, and everyone's trading up. And I think 2 people have all of the first round picks in the startup. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm with you that there's still a lot of people always trading up in the masses. But if your leagues are too sharp, then sometimes you can make a move to trade up. Because a lot of people sometimes think that they take it too far. It's like, okay, 102 and 105 is the same to me, so I'll take a third to move down the 3 spots just to get that extra little bit of value, squeeze out the little bit of value out of it, and that's too little of a price. And I'd happily pay a third to move up.
I mean, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
But I know I can do better than that.
Yeah, give a third, move up 105 to 102. You think you do better than that?
The thing I can trade, think I could get more, yes.
Yeah.
But
You could trade the 102 for more than the 105 just because the number is
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you know, oh right, well we never did this. Hot take: Kenneth Walker's value will never be higher than this current draft season.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't agree.
Uh,
Well,
I agree to an extent.
He's the
So-
102 in ADP right now. Do you think you trade him for an early 2 next year? Granted.
no.
There's going to be that 1 week where he absolutely pops off. You know, it always happens. But
I
besides
will
that,
say-
yes.
You
I
can see
will
value
say-
spike, I think, across the. I think if we look at it a year from now, his value will be the same, maybe lower.
Well, it won't be the 102, but I will say that it'll be less. But I
Right.
will say that remember that rookie, and I always hear people talking about rookie tiers. Those don't matter. Do not care. They are irrelevant. Because once the rookie draft's over, that market, gone. That market doesn't exist. That market exists for an hour, or if it's a slow draft, 2 days. That market's not real. What matters, and I don't hear enough people talking about this. I mentioned this on Twitter today. What matters is actually where the players tier in the whole rankings. Like,
Yeah.
where did you put Kenneth Walker in your rankings? It doesn't matter where he ranks in rookie draft. That's not as important because the rookie draft's over and then there's no more rookie draft. You don't continue with a rookie draft. You continue with all of the players. So what matters is how they fall into the entire market, entire tiers, entire rankings. And people do not focus on that enough. They get caught up in the rookie draft and they don't realize that that is just a temporary artificial market. And that's a way that people, you know, you can take advantage of people because, like, on paper, the 102 for Let me give an example. Like DJ Moore sounds bad. Like the 102 sounds like it should be worth more, but
Right.
it's not.
Because then, like, that's if your wide receiver one's there, and say for me that's Drake London, I would take DJ Moore over Drake London. So yeah, I'd trade the
Exactly. So
102
it's
for DJ
not
Moore.
worth more.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm
the
with
kind
you.
of thing where people don't focus on the overall tiers enough, and they focus too much on the artificial market. I hear too much. I can get a receiver here if I'm going to take this player here, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, but you're limiting yourself to a single artificial market where you could trade for any player in your dynasty league.
Yeah.
Just because it's during a rookie draft doesn't mean that the trades of other players have been turned off. There are other ways to get a wide receiver. There are other ways to get a running back. There are other ways to get a quarterback. You're not limited to the rookie draft. And it's just, I feel like people get tunnel vision on that.
Yeah.
And it is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make in dynasty. And this is something that I always have to talk people out of and just remind people that, veterans are important to trade and for or away.
Yeah, there's a lot of arbitrage in there. Also a lot of between just like comparing the rookies when you're in the rookie draft and the rookies when you're out of it. Not even comparing to veterans, because like
a little.
I remember last year Najee and Etienne were going back to back, and people were like, okay, there's no difference. But in actual startup ADP, there was a huge difference of like a first round between them. And I was like, yeah, go trade Najee for Etienne plus a first. Obviously, didn't work out because Etienne got hurt.
It didn't work out, but
in a general sense, I think the process is there. That if you compare rookies in startup ADP to rookies in rookie ADP, and there'll be some differences there.
All right, let's run through some of these and get to the mocks. All right, have the 102 and 104. Walker and Burke sounds doable. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Walker in London, but I don't hate it. Don't agree on Kenneth. Oh, yeah, not like Penny is Mr. Reliable. I mean, yeah, he's had 6 good games in 4 years, so I wouldn't necessarily rely on him. So FF Lefty is becoming the Rams. Got it. He's the Rams now.
Where's the shirt?
I don't have it.
Gotta get the Les Snead shirt out.
Hey, great job this weekend. Thanks. It was fun. It was fun.
Yep. Definitely.
I don't think Penny really matters.
Yeah.
I mean,
he doesn't. I mean, he's there. It's whatever. They showed their hand on what they think about him.
Yeah. I appreciate that. And who's your NFL squad? I know, but Falcons.
That's fair. Thanks, Ryan.
If Walker doesn't get the receiving work, it's going to be tough for him to have a solid ceiling, especially depending on what happens in QB the next few years. I mean,
yep. Yeah.
Penny has sucked at being a receiver in his time in the NFL. So
he's not a receiver. He had like a 3% target share last year.
He should have been. It's funny. The people thought he would be coming in, but he's never done it.
Yeah.
Even when I just wrote about this yesterday. Even when he was balling out over the last 6 weeks, he still did nothing in the receiving game at all.
Yeah, I remember talking about that too. He had like one target over that span, or what?
It wasn't target, but
I'm thinking of Dobbins.
It wasn't one target, but it was not good. I mean, he ranked first in rushing yards and like first in rushing production, first in fantasy points, like 50th in receiving production. It was
like
not
one
good.
and a half. Yeah, 1.5 targets a game, pretty much. That won't get it done.
No. Hey everyone, welcome.
New Damian Harris just dropped. Hell yeah.
Nope.
Damn.
Okay. In two tight end premium, 2-point tight end premium, where would Trey McBride rank? Yeah, where would you rank him in that format?
Damn.
It's tough. I'd probably say like the 202, 203. Honestly.
Damn, I think I'd go higher than that.
It's
tough. Do a late one, I think. I don't know.
In start,
I never played one of those.
Wait, in 2 tight end. Oh.
Yeah,
I thought it was just the
tight end. So
then back into the first. I thought it was start 1. You have to do it at like 112, 111, right?
I feel like it's even earlier. 2 tight end is brutal.
It is
brutal. Imagine How could you live with yourself if you're rolling out Irv Smith every week? I couldn't do it.
I don't. But
I'm not in any
people
of
those
are
leagues.
rolling out worse than that, bro.
If you're in a league where I said this on a tweet before, but if you're in a league where Tyler Higbee is a viable asset, it's a bad league.
I'm okay with that assessment. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Like in your regular superflex tight end premium, I have him at 203. So yeah, I mean, I would probably draft him at 109.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah,
I don't
Sounds
like
right.
this.
Sounds right.
I don't like this format though.
I don't like it either. I get it, but I don't like it.
I play it and I don't like the format.
Oh, you play it?
I
Yeah,
play it.
I would not play.
Am I trotting out Irv Smith on the weekly? I had to check. No, it's TJ Hawkinson. Okay, we're fine.
Oh,
Who's your second one though?
who's the second?
Cole
tight end,
Kmet.
though?
It's all right. It's okay. It's not great.
So
That'll
It's
get
not
it
great.
done.
It's okay.
You just need more than 0 touchdowns. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
In that league, dude. I mean, I saw someone talking about that, and like Mark started talking about a startup where they had that, and Mark Andrews went like 5th overall. I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I know, but I would do it. I mean,
Yeah, I would.
it's
I mean-
not replaceable.
No,
Yes.
he's not.
It's worse than QB. Like
It is worse.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. Crazy.
In my league, free agents are in the rookie draft, and someone cut Khalil Herbert. Where would you take him in this draft? Good question.
Right,
I can tell.
right before all the bad day 3 rookie running backs, and right after all the good day
So-
2 rookie running backs.
so end of round 3, start of round 4. That's probably where I have him too.
Yeah, that
I'm
sounds right.
finding him. I might have him higher. I have him. Yeah. So in your Superflex tight end premium, he would come in between 303 and 304.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's between Algier and Brian Robinson on the
Uh,
ADP.
Maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe that's too high then.
My assessment of Khalil Herbert is simply that people think he's good because of 4 games where he had some production, and that makes his resale value a lot higher if Monty was to get hurt.
That's true.
Whereas if one of these rookie running backs was to have their starter get hurt, it'd be okay. Maybe he steps up. Maybe it's this veteran. But if Monty gets hurt, Khalil Herbert, people are just going to start fiending for him. I think you could sell him for. Do you think you get a late, like a future first if Monty misses like a whole season?
No.
Because I got that for Gus Edwards once.
I don't know.
You send out the offer to every single person in
Yeah.
your league that has the first. You think someone doesn't bite?
Yeah, maybe. I don't
You
know.
get it done.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Depends.
What's the line for trading a 2022 first for a 23 first? 106.
That's my line, but I don't think it would get it done.
Yeah, I think it's. I got it. Really depends. I got a 23rd first for the 111, which seems like a
Well, that
start.
would be nice. For me, I think it's pretty easy.
You're out here winning.
I'll take the the 6 prospects that I actually like over the 23 first and nobody else. So 107
Yeah.
or later.
I don't think that gets it done unless someone really likes Sky Moore.
I
Probably
really like
doesn't get
Sky
it
Moore.
done, but it might.
There's a couple people out there.
I'll say 7, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, 7
I
for
like
me as well.
Sky.
How happy are you with your Giants draft? Not happy.
Really? They had a good draft. I
No,
mean,
they didn't.
Wandale was.
Well, yes, that's why I think it's bad.
But no,
I don't like it.
Thibodeau and Neal was an absolute.
Okay,
steal.
that
They
was
killed
good.
that.
That's true. That was good. I was harsh on them for everything. I guess
They were-
it was
okay,
pretty good.
the
yeah.
one bad pick in the second round it shouldn't have.
It doesn't
upset, but
ruin everything. Yeah,
killed
they
the
did
first
well in
round.
the first round.
First round was so good. Like if I'm a Giants fan, I'm so happy.
I do
with
wish
that.
they had picked Malik Willis though, as he was
In the
falling.
third?
I would have liked that.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's fine. What about you guys? Drafts?
I liked it. Yeah, I didn't know any of the defensive players we got, but I like Drake and running back depth is cool. But I've heard good things about the receivers we took, and then Ritter in the third was solid.
I think it's good value.
Play. Yeah,
And
I
then
agree.
Ryan, I mean, the Eagles
plus.
draft.
A
it had-
plus plus plus
It
plus.
had
plus.
AJ Brown in it, so
AJ
I'm going to give
Brown.
it an A plus.
We got a first round linebacker in the third. I am over the moon.
That draft was crazy.
The Kobe Dean is just crazy value.
Yeah.
All of those crazy drafts and Washington drafted Jahan Dotson at 16.
That was insane. I don't understand.
That was crazy.
I mean, for as bad as the Wandale pick was, I think
that's much worse. Yeah, much worse. Kenny Pickettsburg, yeah, seems like some karma of some sort. If Browns pick up Watson, who got played for not playing last year, and then have to pay Baker for not playing this year. Yeah.
Yep. Do you think if they make him inactive, does it affect Baker's contract at all? If they make him inactive every week, like it did for Watson?
I don't know.
I mean, paying him. Wasn't it a certain amount? I don't remember exactly.
Oh, I did that. I did that trade where I gave the 101 for Watson and ancillary pieces. Yeah. If you have like another position where you can tier down, I like that. Like I swapped, obviously I got Wentz and a 110th run on the end of it where I got the 110, which felt good. But like I would have liked it if it was giving up Hawkinson for Fant on the other side of the swap, or like something like that. If you got tight end you can swap, or running back you can swap to tier down. Really, I don't know your roster, but
yeah,
just pick someone on your team that you like, but then pick someone on their team at the same position who you like close enough that you feel all right doing the swap for, because 101 getting Watson for that is an absolute steal. I would add a lot onto the 101 to get Watson.
I'm with it. All right, I'm gonna rapid fire us through these, and then we're gonna get to the mock draft. Okay. Scroll up and join the mocks. Yeah, I would do that.
And join the one quarterback mock.
Yeah, that one.
Superflex
Can you post a link to that again? In startups where running backs get half PPR, wide receivers get, what would I trade the 202 for? I don't know, similar to what I would trade the 202 for anyway. That's or do I? Oh, okay. Or do I take Lamb, McCaffrey, or Javonte Williams? I will take.
It's a startup.
Yeah, 202. I mean, I don't know. I'll take Lamb.
CMC of those guys.
I've tried to trade down from 102 and 103, but no one seems interested.
Oh, yeah. Once it goes live, you'll
I know.
Yeah. People will start fiending for that.
Yeah, you can keep trying. The best offer I've had so far is Hollywood and 208 for 102. I'm not taking that.
For as much as I like Hollywood, I think I'm going to have to decline that.
Miles Sanders and 109 for the 105. That is not a terrible. That's a pretty good offer. I'll take the 105.
I'd trade Sanders to tier up.
That's a tier up. Yeah. For a guy that doesn't make a difference. And so
in a 12-team Superflex startup with rookies, where can one start trading picks for 23 first? It's like the early sixth round or so ish. Tell me why Williams isn't the wide receiver one besides injury. He only has 1 year of production at all. Really, nothing else. So that's why. Mm-hmm. I do think he would have been the NFL's wide receiver one without injury, but he still wouldn't have been the fantasy one for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I got Walker at 105, and I think most would be happy with that value. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with that. Chubb or the 102.
London.
Yeah,
London.
I mean, I have Chubb ranked higher, but I don't feel great about it. So
you should rank him lower.
Yeah, well, it's hard because he carries the value, and we know he's good. But
I take the player.
It's tough.
I take the pick.
Yeah.
Did you cover Zamir White and Algiers value? We will when they get picked in the mock. If I have pitched, should I shy away from London? Is that a poor strategy? It's a terrible strategy. Don't do that. Don't worry about having players on the same team in Dynasty. Just got another offer, 106 and Edmonds for the 102.
T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. We learned that lesson already.
Yeah.
Dude, I was trying to trade someone. I was trying to sell him Godwin. And they're like, no, I'm not going to do it. I really like the value, but I have Evans on my team, so I can't do it. Bro, oh my God.
Oh, that's tough.
106 and Edmonds for the 102. I will take the 102. You guys drafting, we're about to. I'm in a mock draft right now. When Robinson was drafted at 201, I got Dotson at 204. People hate the Washington landing spot. Yeah, I do think he'll be a good value. Willis went 202. That's way too high. Spiller went 203. That's also way too high.
I agree.
I'm have a lot of Dawson this year, even though
me too. Yeah. But I'm a draft capital snob, so we know they'll have a lot of him. I was offered a 201, 23 first, and 23 third for 107, 108, and 23 second. So you're trading back from the 108 to
So 108
201.
201, 107 and 23 first.
Yeah,
23
I'm
feels
in.
feels kind of heavy, I guess.
I'd
I mean,
stay
I
this
don't.
year. I'd stay this year.
So would I. The 23 second is worth a lot more than the 23 third, also. So
I'd at least wait.
Stacking
to see,
seconds is
the
smart.
move.
yeah,
It's
you
the
can
move.
do better than this.
Who knows? One of those guys in the top 6 could fall out to the 107. I mean, I've seen it happen before already.
That's facts. Yeah. As you
It's
go further and further down the draft, you get you perceive steals more just because it starts diverging from ADP.
I totally agree with you there. I mean, it's going to be a low percentage chance that one of those top 6 fall to 107, but
Yeah.
it's +0, so might as well take it. But
Let's pull up the draft.
yep,
Yeah,
let's
get it.
get. Which Chrome tab is the Superflex one? I think it's this one. Yep. All right. I'll scroll over. I think this is good.
Mhm.
All right. So let's start this off. Akash, you got the 101. Tyler, you have the 102.
Yeah.
Let's get it rolling. I made sure to have the sound off this time.
yeah.
Man, this is a tough pick, man. Damn.
So bad, so tough. Whoa,
I
not Malik
know.
Willis. Wow.
Had to pass
The,
on him.
at least the 101 is easy.
NFL told me he was mid.
The NFL did tell us he was indeed mid.
I wonder how it's gonna go after the 102. All right,
Bro,
Garrett. So
Drake
it's-
London never falls to the 105 in my drafts. This is crazy.
Yeah,
I wish.
I do think that top 5 is pretty
Pretty tough.
ubiquitous. I mean, occasionally I see some weird things happening, but it's relatively uncommon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, starts to get weird after it though. I see Pickett going higher sometimes. I saw Spiller at 106 in my friend's draft. That was a bit.
Spiller at 106.
That was terrible. Yep,
Ooh, that's
truly
rough.
awful.
I chose the 107 because that's like the spot
Oh,
the
Sky
draft.
Moore.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just so out on Kenny Pickett.
Why
I
don't
feel
you
like
like
that-
Kenny Pickett?
Seems valid.
I mean,
No ceiling.
no ceiling. His film didn't impress me. I'm not even going to mention the hands. I know people like to dive in on the hands, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
What was it? So, I was watching a video. I forget who it was. It was really informative. It was that Kenny Pickett's velocity and like spin rate majorly decreased in bad weather games, and he's playing in Pittsburgh now. So
Interesting. That's an interesting factor.
yeah, it's it. I found that very interesting. I was stunned to find that one, but I'm just not a fan. I mean, it is an obvious pick though.
Pickett's draft capital plus college efficiency makes him look like EJ Manuel 2.0. Which is
You have a
funny.
point.
Hmm.
All right.
What do we want to do about that?
Yeah, what do we want to do about that? We want to do we want to set a player?
Yeah. One of you guys gets another pick.
Ryan's the one controlling the draft.
Ryan
mean-
gets 2 picks in a row.
I mean, I think you have to go Kenny Pickett here.
That's what I would do.
Like,
I mean,
just
I
based
have,
off of,
I have Kenny Pickett at 7.
Do you?
yeah, I
Yeah.
see the argument for that as well. It's just one of those things where I can't take him over Sky Moore.
I think I'd take Olave.
Olave was
Any thoughts on that? I have heard
So-
this many times.
Well, maybe that's what they were comparing him to. He wasn't amazing
Exactly.
in college.
I mean,
Huh.
it's still gonna be
Fair.
bad weather in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He does have that 1 year production too that we always like to go off of. Let me scroll over here.
Right. It's just the last season of production.
Ooh, Watson went ahead of Olave. I would not.
That's
I would
bold.
not do that.
That's
I would-
inadvisable.
I will say that I would not do that.
For as down as I am on Olave, I certainly like him more than Christian Watson.
But yeah, now everything is just kind of like up in the air when you get to this part of rookie drafts.
I know.
Everything
This
falls
part, I
apart.
thought I would love this part, but I don't know.
Well,
I thought
it's
I would
not that I
too.
don't like it.
I don't-
It's that
Right.
you can kind of
It's not that I don't like it. It's the guys that I like. I feel like I can get them later, so it always feels weird.
I know.
But I can't trade back.
It's tough in a mock like this where you can't trade. So, okay. So you went David Bell at 201.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
Are you? I guess you're a big believer.
Had to do it to him. Yeah.
I obviously went James Cook. I just feel like, he was picked in the second round. Second round running backs usually get a good opportunity, and Singletary's on the last year of his rookie deal.
I think his ADP is going to be higher than 202 when it's all said and done and finalized.
I had him at 12, so I would have taken him.
Cook's ADP is 111 right now.
Okay, so my ranking is pretty similar to that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's going to get much higher than that, to be quite honest with you.
No, I don't think so either. Mm-hmm. I do like him, though. I really am not a big...
I've seen him go before Bell a lot, and then also...
I'm not a big believer in Devin Singletary, so... Rashad White at the 204, I think that's going to be interesting. He's someone... Really depends on what people think of Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. He's good. He's got upside. I think he'll be successful. I like him. I got him in the late second a draft yesterday. Dameon Pierce.
Rashad White kind of feels like. Does he kind of feel like Keyshawn Vaughn to you?
No, because he was actually good in college.
Was he? I mean, he was good for 1 year when he was old.
Yeah, I mean,
against the lower level, not lower level, but not. I mean, he didn't play in the SEC.
Yeah,
this is a tough spot.
Phenomenal receiver, though.
True. That is an upside. I feel like it's kind of a bad sign when there's just no production until you're so old.
But he was at JUCO, so he didn't.
No, I know, but
regardless,
I can still.
Damn it, Ryan! I hate you.
I was either that or Malik. I could.
Yeah, I would certainly take one.
Yeah, I'm very curious where the quarterbacks go. I've varied in where I actually rank them throughout my
late second, really.
Throughout the week. Yeah. Oh, Tyler Algier. That's I do like him, but I feel like that's kind of a reach.
Oh man, I thought Alec Pierce would have lasted to me. Look up and he's already gone. I don't like Pierce, but getting him in the late second, early third is good.
Yeah, I have Alec Pierce at 20.
Seems fine to me.
So I would love to get him in the second.
Kind of like Spiller at 209.
Am I gonna have to take one of these super mid quarterbacks?
Spiller at 209 seems kind of high because he's a backup.
I know.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Thunder and lightning. Yeah, he's sort of a backup and sort of.
I think
he'll have a small role.
That was in the Phillip Rivers days.
Yeah.
This is now the Justin Herbert days. I think the days of having two relevant running backs on the Chargers are in the past.
Also, Melvin Gordon's a lot better than.
Yeah, well, that too, but I don't see that as an automatic opportunity. So I'm not really in on Isaiah Spiller's landing spot.
Yeah, me neither.
Here come the quarterbacks.
Let's go. Do I get the best quarterback out of the three mid ones? Yeah. I like Corral.
I don't dislike Corral.
I don't think he's
right, so
good.
The
quarterbacks, if I'm going to pick one of these three quarterbacks, I'm going to pick the one who's competing with Sam Darnold.
The quarterbacks went off right where I kind of had them ranked, actually, almost exactly.
Yeah, and their ADP is higher. I'm surprised they lasted.
Yeah, it is higher, but this draft is mostly my patrons, or a large portion of my patrons, so it's not surprising.
Well.
No, this is a this is a super flex.
It might as well be.
Yeah, it's not that different. And yeah, I don't know what a blocking tight end.
Maybe he's mistyped.
Yeah. So Zamir White went, and I think that's they declined Josh Jacobs' option, and I don't think Zamir White is bad.
Yeah. I think Brian Robinson was really good value there. I don't love him as a prospect, but to get a third round running back in the rookie draft.
Getting sniped in mock rookie drafts now.
Yeah, I have Tyquan Thornton at 36, so
I know. Yeah, that was a good pick by the guy. I mean, for as much as
if I have him at 36, I don't think it's a good pick.
I think it's a good pick.
No, he's someone I'm fine being wrong on him, but
to me, I thought you were a draft capital snob.
He's so bad that it doesn't matter. There are Tutu Atwells exist. Players that are just so bad that I don't care.
I like Tutu as a prospect.
Yeah, but he had more production,
Truly.
and I still wanted to avoid him.
Because he's small.
Forget it with Tyquan Thornton. He has nothing to offer.
Maybe he runs fast.
Yeah. I'm less interested in someone picked by the Patriots than someone picked by the Rams.
Yeah.
I'm fine just being wrong about Tyquan Thornton. I won't draft him.
Someone wrote in their rookie ranks, notes on Tyquan Thornton, Bill Belichick needs to retire.
That's what I said on Twitter right after he was picked, that Bill Belichick, the GM, should find a new career.
Damn, Ty Davis Price is good there.
Yeah, I have him at 28, so 304.
It's hilarious how everyone was so obsessed with the mediocre running back they drafted last year in the third, and he had a late first ADP, and now they draft another mediocre running back in the third, and no one cares.
I like the Pierre Strong value there.
Damn it.
Oh, Keontae Ingram is another one that I kind of like.
That's a good one.
Damn.
I think the Cardinals have to find. They can't just give James Conner every carry.
No, that won't work.
The homies, welcome.
Is this
Zamir's a good flip candidate. Yeah, it's like my.
Is this tight end premium?
No.
Damn.
Trying to move out of 102. Yeah, just take Walker. I know it sucks, and yeah, we all like the Davis Price.
Fourth round's where it gets
Yeah.
Always a bit dicey.
It's definitely a bit dicey.
Yep. We got to flip the late round running backs. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
He's a good.
You're drafting them to flip. All right, Kyron Williams.
Yeah, he's a good receiver.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I haven't
pick.
ranked these late round running backs. I kind of just.
Oh, I have.
do it on the fly.
Yeah, I decided to go.
He can cover.
Yeah, I went with Hassan Haskins just because he has an opportunity to get the backup job to Derrick Henry.
Yep. Until Julius Chestnut beats him out.
Yeah. I mean, all of these guys are kind of meh.
Yep.
Yeah,
I went with 4 running backs. Oh, Jelani Woods. Okay.
I would have taken it if it was tight end.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah. I was thinking about him in the third with tight end premium. I feel like he'd be long gone by then, though.
Maybe. Yeah.
What superstars took a big hit after the rookie draft? Any? Were any superstars really affected by this draft?
Michael Carter was a superstar before the draft. If you listen to Twitter.
Yeah, no. So the answer is no, right?
No.
Yeah.
If you're a superstar, you don't take hits with when you
True.
draft a rookie, and your team doesn't draft a rookie to replace you.
Yeah. Thanks. You're welcome. Would you be willing to trade to move up to the 101? I'd be fine. Try giving up the 104 and the 107 to move up to the 101.
I mean, if you want to count Devontae Smith as a star, he's not a superstar, but he took a nice sized hit.
He's probably one of the best players who took a hit from the draft, actually.
Yeah.
I missed the early part of this draft. Who do you like more, Wilson or Burks? Here, Ryan, just take that pick.
Oh gosh.
Who do you like more, Wilson or Burks? I like Wilson more. I had Wilson ranked higher pre-draft, so I didn't see any reason to change it. And how close is London and Sky in that tier? London is in that tier for me, actually, between Wilson and Burks. And Sky Moore is not in that tier. Sky Moore, probably someone I'm going to have none of, unfortunately. I don't dislike him, but...
Everyone else likes him more.
Yeah, everyone else likes him more.
He's your Rashad Bateman.
Is he?
He's your Rashad Bateman this year.
Yeah.
In that everyone likes him and you don't like him as much.
That's probably true, but I don't hate Rashad Bateman. Just like I don't hate Sky Moore. Yeah, I guess Sky Moore probably is my Rashad Bateman this year.
Yeah, there's no reason to hate them. It's just
if
you don't like him as much.
So Velus Jones and Danny Gray went off the board. So those are 2 third-round wide receivers that I got to tell you. Is George Pickens going to play the slot with Chase outside or vice versa? I don't know.
I think the offense.
They're saying they want to put
Claypool
in as a big slot,
which would be fine. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I think Claypool plays. I'm not a big personnel guy, but I think Claypool plays slot, and he goes out wide on 12 personnel.
I do want to say that I am concerned with the Steelers that other than Deontay Johnson, I'm just not sure that. I don't know. I mean, all these other guys are there.
All those guys are what?
I mean, they have Freiermuth, Pickens, and Claypool now, and I don't really like. It's going to be tough.
Say what you want about all of them. Deontay Johnson just alphas them.
Deontay Johnson's so much better.
Even though he's the smallest, it's so funny.
Yeah. Burke's usage will be more than Wilson. You don't know that. And also,
we can't say that.
The Titans are going to run a lot more than the Jets. Does Sky affect Juju? Yeah, of course. My bad. I didn't mean more. I meant Williams instead of Sky. So Jameson Williams is not that far off from the top tier, but I do have him lower. I see Pickens as a Claypool replacement. Maybe. The Steelers don't pay many wide receivers. I think they pay Deontay Johnson. And does Elijah Moore lose value, and how much? He loses value if you didn't assume this was going to happen, which I feel like everyone did. So he didn't lose that much value.
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish up that draft. So Jerome Ford went at the 408. I liked him a little bit pre-draft, but I don't see the path there. I mean, they have Kareem Hunt they can cut Kareem Hunt, but even if they do, they have Dearness Johnson on that tender.
Yeah.
So Jerome Ford and Nick Chubb is still there. So Jerome Ford I just see as a waste of time.
I like Dearness more than Ford.
Yeah, me too. So Ty Chandler, he went to Minnesota. I don't really see the path for him either.
Maybe he's on the Alexander Madison succession plan.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, they also drafted Kenny Wangu last year in the 4th.
Yeah,
I don't know that Chandler's even better than him.
Nah, he's just a special teamer.
Yeah, I mean, he got playing time at running back, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's technically a running back, and he got, a handful of carries, but he's a special teamer. That's the role he plays. That's the reason he got drafted.
Isaiah Pacheco. He's so bad. He's so bad. His profile is so bad.
But it's the Chiefs.
But it's the Chiefs. And they have two running backs that I hate. So I'll probably recommend drafting him.
For as much as I don't like Edwards-Helaire and Rojo, I certainly like them more than Pacheco.
I'm willing to take Pacheco. I mean, I would have taken Pacheco where he was picked at 410, which is not surprising because Strugdor is one of my patrons. So I'm not surprised that he made the same pick that I would have. So I would have done that. And then Snoop Connor at 411. I actually know almost nothing about him, but I do know that the Jaguars have two running backs coming off injuries. So I guess that's what I would have done at that stage. But, don't expect much. No. And then we closed it out with Justin Ross, who just signed that was news. He signed as a UDFA with the Chiefs. So I know people,
wow.
I know people will be interested. And I would say that I'm not uninterested, but he's a UDFA. UDFAs are always such a long shot.
Absolutely.
All right. Put the 1 QB link in the chat.
Not worth the pick. But, yeah.
Put the 1 QB link in the chat, and then do we want to compare this to last week?
I mean, it's up to you. I'm in to do it. So,
well, I mean, so Rojo will be a league winner. No, he won't.
Yes, he will. No,
he's so bad. Such different compared to last week. I mean, yeah, all the quarterbacks are lower except for maybe Pickett, who's probably in about the same place. And then
pull it up.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins has just been suspended 6 games for violating the NFL's drug policy. Breaking news from Adam Schefter.
Damn. And I just got an
oh no.
On it. All right, Marquise to the moon.
Okay.
Marquise to the moon.
All right, so let's forget about comparing it to last week. People can, they can go and look at the thing from last week.
Let's just pulled it up again.
Yeah, we don't need it. Let's just forget about that. So let's just look at, because last week it's in the past, right? It's in the past. So this mock, I think it's pretty normal, right? I mean, the quarterbacks went pretty late, so about where I would have them ranked. They're going earlier in ADP. But yeah, any other comments about this draft?
No, we know what the changes are. Like all the guys that you expect.
Yeah,
to
we
be drafted
know.
Later.
I mean, Justin Ross is a big faller, obviously.
And then Bell,
Christian
Mechie,
Watson, and Sky Moore are risers.
Wandale, Mechie, Bell are all risers. They all got picked higher than I think some people expected. And then all the quarterbacks are fallers.
Yeah, all the quarterbacks are fallers. I'm looking at it right now. James Cook and Dameon Pierce look to be two of the ones that moved up a good amount, I think. Yeah. Justin Ross is a faller. And then everyone else looks like where they were. Kenny Pickett especially. Then all the other quarterbacks that we just talked about.
Yeah, damn.
It looks kind of close to last week's, to be quite honest with you, besides, Malik Willis falling out that top tier. All right, we need 4 or 5 more for the 1 QB.
I put it in the Patreon, so hopefully we get that filled also. I'll share it in the...
I can take this screen down.
Man, that Hopkins stuff's crazy.
Yeah.
That is...
So let's why don't we just talk about that since we're here, and I don't really want to do we're live during it, so I don't really want to do a separate, I don't think we need to do a separate video on that.
All right,
because we're going to talk about it now. We have all of us here. So he's suspended 6 games. So in Dynasty, he's already going to be 30. I assume that this is a significant blow to his Dynasty value. It would be different for a younger player, but you have to also realize that I will say this from a Dynasty perspective. Fair or unfair, he's going to lose value to some people. And I might be one of those people who say, well, he was suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. How's he going to do without them? Is he going to be the same, or is he going to struggle to return from these injuries? Is he going to struggle to return to form, to his 2020 and previously form without those PEDs? So, he's going to lose a significant amount of value. To me, it's almost worse in a way. A PED suspension is almost worse because you start to have questions like with Will Fuller, because really he never came back. We've never seen him be good again after his PED suspension. He's never proven that he could be good without them. So I will say that for me, DeAndre Hopkins was already just off my board completely. But now I won't touch him. I won't touch him. I'm not going to touch a 30-year-old who's not even going to play for me the first 6 games. And then, who knows at that point. That just...
It hurts his value because you get less usable games from him, definitely. But do you think that the PEDs are helping him play better, or do you think? I think it's hard to speculate, and we'll never know. But I think
we'll never know.
I think it was just something that his doctor gave him in recovery for his injury, and then it was.
Well, no, I'm talking about an injury recovery, not that he can't play. That he won't. He's not going to recover from these injuries. He's going to be injured more. The PEDs were helping him stay healthy. I'm more saying that I don't think they helped him catch the ball better.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that the injuries. I don't think the PEDs helped keep him healthy. I think that after he got hurt, that's when he got them.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm skeptical that he's going to return from this injury now. If he needed to violate the PED policy to try to return from this injury, why? That's bad, right? I mean, that's not a good. That's not a good sign.
We've seen stuff before where players get prescribed things that aren't allowed, but their doctor accidentally did it or something, and didn't know.
I mean, we'll never know.
So it's not that he needed PDs; it's just that
we'll never know. But his dynasty value is shot because you'll have a lot of people, because we won't know. So you'll have a lot of people. It could be the case that he has a severe, injury or something with his hamstring or whatever he was going through last year,
PCL.
and Yeah, and he just isn't going to be the same health-wise. I mean, we're already talking about a 30-year-old who started to struggle with injuries. That's already someone I don't want in Dynasty. I don't want that player. That doesn't sound good. That's the kind of player I want to avoid. So now I'll just be out, and he can be someone else. I'm not going to wait 6 weeks for a 30-year-old to come back and maybe, produce when he didn't. The last thing I saw from him was him not producing for me. And also, the other thing I want to remind people about DeAndre Hopkins last year is the fantasy points were there early in the year because of touchdowns, but he didn't look good compared to previous years in 2021. He did not look as good. The efficiency numbers, not there. And, some of the other things, his play on the field role was not the same. He was not the same dominant alpha, even when he was healthy.
Yeah.
But he saved his fantasy production with touchdowns. And that, if those don't come, that could be, you could just have, there's just no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee that a receiver is good into their 30s. Julio Jones, you saw in 2020 when he was 31, all the warning signs, but the fantasy production was there. But there were warning signs. He didn't look good. It wasn't the same. He wasn't the same guy. And then 2021, cooked, done at 32.
He had a 20% target share last year, which was 35th. And in 2020, he was second with 29%.
We're talking about Hopkins.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The efficiency wasn't there. The target share, not there. But
it was just
the touchdowns were there. The touchdowns were there, and that saved him.
Yeah,
but you don't know. The touchdowns are not what you want to rely on, right? The reason we always liked DeAndre Hopkins was because of massive volume. Right. He was a guarantee for an elite target share. That was the appeal of DeAndre Hopkins.
Absolutely.
But that wasn't there last year. And I don't know why we would assume it comes back.
The way I'm looking at it is that you have to trust that that the player still has the elite ceiling. You just lower your expectations for the percentage chance that they hit it. And so I still think that there's a chance that we see elite Hopkins, him bouncing back, but the chances go down, especially with this suspension, that you get less games of it, and then you're less certain that he bounces back. And so it definitely hurts his dynasty value because you're getting less production out of him. But I think if the price gets low enough, I'll still be buying because I think there is still an elite ceiling, even if there's a lower chance he hits it now. It's like a player's insanely good for 8 years, and then they fall off. That happens, but then also sometimes you see bounce backs.
Yeah, that's true. I still, an older player on a bounce back is not.
Sometimes you get Andre Johnson. Sometimes you get Larry Fitzgerald. Not like into late 30s Fitzgerald, but Fitzgerald when he was 30 had a similar season where his numbers were down, and then he bounced back and was top 5, top 10 the year after.
Yeah. I think we have to bring up as well, excluding DeAndre Hopkins, we have to bring up Marquise Brown and what this does for his fantasy stock, at least in redraft. I know Akash wants to talk about it. At least in redraft, it's going to go up, right? Like it has to.
We can ball so hard. Hell yeah. It's good. It's yeah, this should help him. I think it helps him too much because now more people are going to be in. Damn it.
Yeah, you're not going to get him cheap like you did.
I already got him cheap, so we're all good.
Yeah, Akash is already 100%.
I got him yesterday for Amon-Ra St. Brown, straight up.
Looking really good today.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, Hollywood's still a really good player. No Hopkins maybe gives him a small bump. Not that he's going to get vacated targets, but DeAndre Hopkins is a really good player. So him being out can't hurt Marquise.
Not at all.
Well, it can if it makes the offense not run well. But overall, when you lose a player like Hopkins for 6 games, the offense maybe is a little bit less successful. But I think overall it'll be a net neutral for Marquise Brown. It's could hurt Kyler a little bit though.
Yeah,
but he'll be all right. compare.
it's
I
still
still
Zoe,
expect elite numbers from Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
It's mostly just the Hopkins thing, and it's only 6 games, so the
I do
other
think
guys
it'll
aren't gonna-
slightly hurt Kyler Murray in redraft just because he wasn't as good without Hopkins, but I'm not panicking.
We're absolutely going to see some splits put up of his numbers.
Yeah, for sure. We still need 2 more people in that mock, by the way.
Yeah, we should do that.
Let's get that filled, guys. But here, let's pull up some comments. Although
it's the one
he's been
QB
nursing,
format.
yeah, he's been nursing him. He's suspended. Will Fuller situation. It's not quite the Will Fuller situation.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins is
quite a bit
better, much more production. It's not quite the same, but it does have some comparisons. And Jacob, we're talking about this mock, so click on that link and join it. Hamstring injury incident triples after 25. I would know from my own hamstrings. Not wrong. 100%.
I'm 1 year away from my hammies. Oh no.
I know. Oh yeah, dude. I'm the old man now. What would you be willing to move for the 103? Would you move Kelsey for 103? Probably.
Nah, I wouldn't. I mean, is it tight end premium?
In tight end premium, maybe not. If it's 1.75. Rondale season. This is your sell moment. This is your sell moment now.
This is your last chance.
This is your last chance. They obviously don't believe in Rondale Moore.
Damn it.
They don't believe in him. Get rid of him now. I mean, they drafted. You know how they don't believe in Rondale Moore? Actually, you know what makes it more obvious than trading for Hollywood Brown? They drafted another tight end when they already have one that they cannot get out of his contract for 2 years. You don't draft a tight end in the second round for him to just sit on the bench for 2 years, right? I mean, Trey McBride is not going to just sit on the bench and play no snaps. That's not going to happen. Yeah. Now, is Zach Ertz going to come off the field that often? He didn't last year. Probably not. So the only reason you draft a tight end that high when you have one that you want to play is to transition from one to the next. That makes sense. But you don't do it unless you plan to play some 12 personnel. Some. I don't know what percentage it's going to be, but maybe they play 35% 12 instead of the 10% or 5% they played last year. And in 12, Rondale Moore his ass is on the bench. So for sure, because he can't play outside at all. So the Trey McBride pick actually makes it so obvious that they have no plans to have Rondale Moore as part of their offense. He is not a part of their plans. So this is your sell window. This is your opportunity. Get rid of him right now. And the article, I'm actually writing an article right now. Actually, no, I just wrote it yesterday. Winners and losers from the NFC West. It will come out on DLF, I believe, on Thursday. So you can read my take about Rondale Moore. And I talked about it a little bit about his rookie season. And I would get rid of him now. I mean, they made 2 big moves that clearly show that they don't believe in him at all. So get rid of him. NFL news keeps rolling. I mean, this is not the kind of news we want. We don't want to hear about. We don't want people to be suspended for PEDs.
We want trades.
We want trades. We want
people to get in the bag.
This is a bad thing. All right, the mock's full, so we'll get to that immediately. Yep. What's their offense looking like now? Hollywood Brown. They have Hollywood Brown, so I'm a little less worried. And also drafting, they didn't. Ertz, I think, is started to pick it up a little bit, and they have Trey McBride as another option, and but this doesn't look as good as it did. It's a bad look to taxi pits. I don't want to know how look it is. Do what you want to do. In some leagues you can do this, in some leagues you can't do this. It depends on the league. Sell Rondale, absolutely. I broke it down for you. So with you, anything. What do you sell him for? I don't want to say anything, but at this point, I mean, you should be able to get 23 second in superflex. I'll just wipe my hands.
I tried to get him second this year. I don't know. Draft.
I mean, I'd rather have a 23 second over a mid to late second this year.
Second, but I think
if you get an early second
this year, Wan'Dale Robinson.
If you get an early second this year, then sure. Well, I would much rather have Wan'Dale Robinson. But yeah, that's 206. So yeah, I guess if you get 205, 206, sure. But if it's going to be like 209, 210, I'll take my chances on the 23 second.
You're higher on Wan'Dale Robinson. What?
Isn't this going to bury Nuke already a declining asset? Yeah, I would say that. I mean, we talked about this though. It's just the kind of thing where like he's lost all his sell value now.
Right.
So
You're just holding him with the.
it's just the rest of his career. So you take the rest of his
He'll
career
retire-
at this point.
He'll retire on my team if he's already on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop him. Previously, I had him. I'll tell you, I had him at. Let's see. I'll give you the rank. I just updated them. I had him at wide receiver. 32. So I wasn't never gonna have him.
That's around his ADP. So where is he now?
Yeah, I had him at wide receiver 32 and in superflex 83rd, tight end premium 83rd overall. So that's a late 7th. He will now drop to. Yeah, I'd say about a round. I'm looking at the guys about a round later. So he's dropping from 83rd overall to 95th overall. That's going to drop him about, among 7 spots among wide receivers. So he'll be around wide receiver 40.
That's not that bad, though. I expected
It's not that
he would
bad,
drop him more.
but it's also probably saying that I'll never get him because I wasn't getting him at I wasn't getting him at the previous price by about a round anyway.
Yeah.
So it just not for me. But honestly, maybe I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll have to drop him lower than that because I'm looking. Yeah, no, it looks about right. I mean, I'm thinking like Cortland Sutton versus DeAndre Hopkins at this point. That kind of debate for me. Mike Williams, Chase Claypool. Those are players I'm debating. Aaron Jones. See, maybe he's going to drop lower. Maybe he's going to drop lower than I thought. It's I'm thinking it's going to be more like a round and a half. Actually, a round and a half. He's probably going to drop outside my top 100 assets in Superflex. We talked about this. Just sold Kenny Pickett for a 23 first. I think I got to take the 23 first over Kenny Pickett. I don't see it with Kenny. What's the upside?
That's good. That's solid.
Yeah, I'll take the 20. That's why I say 107 because I have him at 107. So 107 or later, I'll easily just give up for the 23 first.
Yeah. Value-wise, it's cool. Kicking the
traded Nuke for Tony and a second a few weeks ago. When are we drafting? Now are we feeling safe with Gabe Davis?
You can never really feel safe.
All right, Ryan, pull it up. Let's go.
Oh boy, who am I gonna pick?
Oh man, Akash, are you picking David Bell here?
I mean, I could.
You could. It's a realistic possibility.
Wonder if he falls to me next round. We'll see.
All right, 101 with the chalk. There's Kenneth Walker. 102.
More chalk.
So much chalk.
I mean, your rankings
again. Like so far, we're chalk off my rankings. Hall, Walker, Wilson is my rankings.
You get Burks. Wow, Burks.
Okay, London. Yeah, that's my ranking again. And then, it'll be Burks for me, which makes sense.
Your own rankings, okay.
Following my own rankings and following the tier that I have set out. But I'm much happier picking Burks at 105 than I was in the last one picking Walker at 102. I feel like I got a better deal. I don't feel like I really got a deal with Walker at 102 last time.
Yeah. Olave, interesting. Then we got Guy or Jamo. I wonder who's gonna go.
Oh, I wonder if I'm going to be taking Sky Moore again.
So Olave and Dotson.
Ooh, that's spicy. I'm gonna take the value there.
Yeah, I would not recommend that. To me, I have Jamison Williams closer in the tier with London, Burks, and Olave than in the tier with Dotson and Moore and Watson and the other guys.
Are we ever going to see a running back go? Man,
I don't know.
So those are my top 10 guys right there.
How bad would this class be if we didn't see like 14 receivers go in the top 2 rounds? Was it 14 or 15? It's crazy though.
I can't believe we got this DeAndre Hopkins news live on the show.
I know. That's crazy.
Isn't that insane?
That's crazy.
Also, you should definitely come on with us more often.
Yes.
We the people have definitely spoken with the viewership in the show.
Oh,
this has actually been one of our most viewed shows, our most viewed Monday shows.
Hell yeah!
So we will, and I know I like this new guy.
Well, there you have it. I mean, couldn't have laid it out any more plainly. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you definitely bring something that's different from us.
I wonder who I'm picking.
Oh wow, David Bell.
Yeah.
Who knew?
No, you bring in, and you can talk more about that, but you definitely bring in an area of expertise that is different certainly from mine.
Yeah.
Ryan's somewhere, I think, in between us.
Yeah. Somewhere in between. Somewhere, don't know where, but somewhere.
Yeah. I'm probably like what I mean by that is I'm mostly the strategy guy.
Yeah.
I'm not really tape or analytics.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, there we go, Akash.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
ball.
mostly game theory. Okay, right off my rankings. What a surprise. Okay.
Trogdor.
Yeah, well, we know Trogdor's just going to go off my rankings, as
I
he
know.
should. I'm actually going to go with Damian Pierce. I just feel that
Interesting.
I think so, because the Houston backfield is, I don't believe in Marlon Mack coming off the Achilles tear at all. He didn't do anything last year. He didn't look good. So Damian Pierce was a prospect I really enjoyed pre-draft. I mean, I liked him. I legitimately liked him. I thought he was someone that was going to go earlier in the NFL draft than he actually did. I thought he would sneak into day 2. He did not. But I'm willing to, at the 205, I'm willing to take, I'm not going to reach on Pierce, take him in the first. That would be a mistake. But at the 205, I feel like I'm okay with that. Yeah. You know, if you took Michael Carter at the 205 last year, it still is not a disaster. Like, that's not a disaster. Yeah. But if you took him at the 111, then now you have a problem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think this is a reference for you.
Yeah, you know ball.
Yeah. But I do think Damian Pierce has upside. I really do.
Yeah.
Tyler Algier, I do like him, but feels like a little bit of a reach for Algier.
It is. Yeah.
I'd rather have. Yeah. What do you guys feel about like Zamir White and Davis Price versus Algier? Because I have those two higher.
Then who?
Versus Algier. I have Zamir White and Davis Price higher.
Yeah.
White because he went higher in the NFL draft, and I prefer him as a talent to Algier anyway.
I agree with that.
And then I have Davis Price higher just because he went in the third round. I don't like him at all, but San Francisco, you know that the one thing I like about San Francisco is if he earns the job, he'll really win it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the coach keeping him out. That's the one thing I always like about San Francisco is a better player will win the job.
That's high for Ingram.
For Ingram, a little, yeah. For a sixth rounder, I can't get there.
I
can't get there in the second. In the third, I'd like it. Kenny Pickett, I actually have very low in my 1 QB drafts. I have him at 33.
I can see that.
I just don't see the court and this is why we do the startup rankings. I ranked him among startup quarterbacks, found where he ranked, and then back ranked him into the rookie ranks, and he came in at 33. That's how you do it, not the other way around. You should rank the players in startup rankings first and back rank them into the rookie ranks. That's the right process, but people will do it the wrong way.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting good
especially
value
with 1 QB quarterbacks. Otherwise, you can get it very wrong where they're supposed to go. Although this year, there's really only one that I think will be drafted in this. In a 1 QB.
This feels like good value, I think.
It is. Yeah, that's who I would have taken, Brian Robinson.
That's solid.
And then Tolbert following my ranks.
That's good. It was between them.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Davis Price following my ranks again. And
I was between those two running backs, Davis Price and Robinson.
Peter Strong, stunningly, what a surprise! Following my ranks, there's not a lot of deviation there. We haven't talked much about Tolbert. Any thoughts on him? He's landing with Dallas in the third. I kind of like it. The landing spot there.
No percentage outcome, but there's certainly upside. He's got size, he's got okay draft capital. Production was solid, even though he's older, and so.
And then, what do you think about Romeo Doubs, who I just picked there, the fourth rounder of the Packers receiver? I think
Doubs is interesting too.
Interesting, yeah. I don't really
got size and production, just not draft capital.
I don't really believe in Christian Watson. I think that Doubs is a good pick there, just in case.
Right. Maybe you see a Treadwell Diggs thing there.
Yeah, and also you don't have to reach on Doubs. I mean, I have him 27th overall. I mean, at some point.
I agree. I think Doubs had good production. I've never.
I'm not too
hyper-focused.
I'm not overly familiar with him, but I do remember that I did some research when we did our wide receiver show, and I didn't dismiss him.
Yeah.
Whereas like Tyquan Thornton, when we did our wide receiver show, was someone I dismissed.
Doubs had
dismissed him completely. I thought he was irrelevant.
Doubs had solid production. It wasn't amazing, but it was fine.
We haven't talked about Tyler Beatty a lot, Beatty, but I do think in Baltimore he has an opportunity to see the field with Dobbins and Edwards injuries. A little bit similar to Snoop Conner, except Beatty's actually had a much better profile, and I actually heard of him.
Yeah.
Going
He
into the
went,
draft?
what, late 6th?
Batty? Yeah,
Yeah.
618. A little low, right? But,
Who should I pick here?
I also would, oh, by the way, for anyone listening, if you're in a 1 QB, I would not bother with Ritter, Willis, and Corral, really. Maybe in the 5th, but I would not have selected them in this 4-round mock that we're doing here.
I think I'm just going to be a draft capitals.
Oh, are you? Oh, Velus Jones.
Yeah.
Do you have anything nice to say about Velus Jones? Because I do not.
Akash is getting his special teams contributions.
Yeah. Playing leagues with playing the old Yahoo leagues with return yards.
There you go.
Calvin, there's Jelani Woods, who I was definitely on my board. Calvin Austin, I feel bad for Calvin Austin because I think he's someone, if he'd landed elsewhere, could have had a better chance. But
I thought what happened to Thornton was going to happen to Austin. He was going to get drafted higher in the draft.
Yeah.
The problem with Austin is how does he break that? There's just no opportunity, and he went on day 3. So he's just a hard avoid for me, really.
There's no production. I'm pretty sure he's a senior.
So for
draft
me,
capital's bad. It's just not
for
shaping
me
up well.
here. I mean, it's the old debate. Do you go with the guy you actually believe in, or the guy who seems to be on the better situation? I'll go with the guy I actually had some belief in pre-draft, even though I see no path.
Over who?
Ford versus Pacheco.
Oh, I take Ford. I don't like Pacheco.
Well, Pacheco is just a terrible prospect. Ford was a decent prospect.
terrible.
I mean, Ford, I don't want to say Ford was a good prospect because he's not. But
he's better than Pacheco.
He's not abysmal. Pacheco is one of the worst running back prospects I've ever seen. The only thing he has is the speed that he ran at the combine, and that's it.
Yeah, and
he's terrible in every way.
If
Otherwise,
you don't like Edwards-Helaire and Ronald Jones,
Well, Pacheco
would have to step up.
Pacheco's older than Edwards-Helaire.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Pacheco would have to step up if he wants to take the job.
He's
or
awful.
carve out a role.
Jay Chestnut.
Was that Joey Chestnut?
Julius Chestnut.
I have who is that?
Sacred Heart running back.
I have no idea who that is.
Hell yeah.
I actually don't know who that. I actually am not aware of that player.
I sarcastically call him good.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's not just a free agent.
I do like the Greg Dulcich pick a little.
Me too.
I think that people who are just assuming that Alberto is better, it is the call I would make. I prefer Alberto as a prospect to Dulcich. I think Alberto is a better prospect. And, they traded away Fant, which means that they don't hate Alberto, at least. They were comfortable with Alberto as their starter.
Truly.
So I would give Alberto a significant edge if choosing. But he's never done anything. Nothing. I mean, Alberto has done nothing.
Thanks.
And then, so it's not a lock that the guy that was actually picked with better draft capital might overtake him. And you know that if Dulcich becomes a starter, he's going to have value on a Russell Wilson offense.
Yeah.
So I do like Dulcich as a flyer. He's he's one of really 3. I'll draft 3 tight ends in this draft. I'll take obviously McBride, and then Jelani Woods, and then Dulcich, and then everyone else is just kind of would not make a 4-round. Like Jeremy Ruckert to me is a waste of time. Why bother? He's the tight end 3 on the depth chart. The 2 guys, Uzama and Conklin, were signed to multiple-year contracts. And on top of that, the Jets also have a line at wide receiver. I mean, they have Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson are not coming off the field. Corey Davis they're going to run 11 almost exclusively. They're not taking Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, or Corey Davis off the field. And when they do, they have Braxton Berrios as depth. Yeah. So I don't see the Jets running a lot of 12. So I just don't see Jeremy Ruckert even dressing for games. So I'll take, if I'm going to take a tight end late, I'd rather take guys who have a better path, even if they were drafted later. And I'll highlight really 4 guys that I would bother with. Daniel Bellinger, who the Giants drafted, mostly because the depth chart's open. He's not a good prospect.
Yeah.
Cole Turner, who Washington drafted, he actually is a good prospect. There's a lot of hype around him. But if Logan Thomas comes back, we know that Washington hands all the playing time to the guy.
Yep.
So unfortunately, he would need Thomas to get hurt. And don't forget also, John Bates stepped in last year and was actually half decent. So he's got a hill to climb. And then, there's Jake Ferguson to Dallas and Cade Otton to Tampa, and they were drafted in the 4th round. I'd consider them if we had a fifth round. They would be players I would take over Ruckert. And Jets play 11 personnel. Again, just there's no path for Ruckert. I think I'm not sure why they drafted him, honestly. I don't think it just seems like a bad pick.
I still like Charlie Kolar.
Charlie Kolar. Yeah. If they hadn't also drafted Isaiah Likely, I would care more. But you're asking for a backup on a team. The Ravens drafted both, for anyone who doesn't know, Isaiah Likely and Charlie Kolar.
They run a lot of 13.
13. I mean, I guess they could run 13, but
they have before. They did it with.
No, I know. I know they're one of the only teams that runs 13 at all.
Yeah.
Like outside of the goal line, they're one of the only teams that runs 13 in non-goal line or non-4th and 1 situations.
Yeah.
But if there was only one of them, I would bother to take a chance. But since I have no idea who to prefer. The guy that I prefer went later. Likely is the one I thought was better, but he went after. So the guy I prefer went later. I have no idea who to pick. It's not a passing heavy offense. There's no upside behind Andrews, so I don't.
Kohler had good production and has good athleticism.
Yeah, but Likely I think was a better prospect.
I liked Kolar more, but
really?
I get it.
Well, if you liked Kolar more, then I could see wanting to take a chance. But if you're conflicted, liking Likely more, who went after, then I'm not as. I just don't see an upside. I'd rather take my chances on specifically Bellinger of the guys listed because he's the one who has a legit path to some playing time. Ricky Seals-Jones is the only obstacle there. Although I would.
It's not no guarantee he beats out Ricky Seals-Jones.
Oh no, there's no guarantee at all. I would predict that Ricky Seals-Jones starts, but Bellinger is the one who has the best chance of those lower guys. Anyone else not drafted in this that's worth discussing? I mean, Kevin Harris, Danny Gray. There is
Can't see the list anymore.
Yeah, I can't pull up the list no more.
Yeah, well, no, I have it. So, but I don't know.
Gray's a 3rd round receiver. He should go in the.
Yeah, he should be drafted.
I draft him over Ruckert and Chestnut.
I draft him over Calvin Austin as well.
Yeah.
Just because I don't believe in Calvin Austin at all.
And
there's a couple other guys I want to point out who. I don't know if they'd be interesting. I mean, there's Eric Izukanma. Did I get that right? The Dolphins 4th rounder. I don't really see how he fits in.
Kevin Harris is drafted. I just didn't have I thought it was the full draft board.
Oh, okay, there's Kevin Harris right there. Okay.
3-9.
But Eric, however you pronounce that name, on the Dolphins, he's someone I'd consider maybe. I'm not overly interested. And then there was a couple of running backs, late round running backs. There's let's see. There's a Treston Ebner on the Bears. Maybe. Wow. Why not? He has a path to being the RB3 on the team. That's something. He could make the team. That would be a step in the right direction. And yeah, but other than that, the Flyers this year are kind of meh. I do like Bo Melton, but he did not go to where I wanted. 7th to Seattle is not appealing. And a couple other guys that were drafted. There's Kyle Phillips, the wide receiver from UCLA who went to Tennessee. Maybe. Decent spot. Yeah, 5th round. I mean, probably draft him if we had a fifth round here. I would have drafted him. And then, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a couple guys who were drafted that I don't see how they could ever get there. Melton's one of them. Jalen Naylor was drafted in the 6th to Minnesota. I don't see any way that he does anything. But yeah, Michael Woods was drafted to Cleveland, and he was drafted to Cleveland. So I'd keep an eye on him, but he has nothing going for him really from Oklahoma. He doesn't have anything good. Now, all of these guys bad. But, I'll take my chances on the guys who were drafted earlier, Gray and Austin, above all of these guys. and then I'll come back to these guys who were drafted later. And then as the season develops, I'm going to look at some of these UDFA running backs mostly. UDFA wide receivers, I just don't waste my time. It's same with tight ends and quarterbacks. But a running back I'll consider. The ones I would probably circle that I had the most interest in would be Kennedy Brooks, UDFA to the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be the one I would probably be the most interested in. And then Zonovan Knight, I like, but he went to the Jets, so I don't like that spot at all. And then that's pretty much it. There's no one else really. It's really just Kennedy Brooks would be the only one I would even consider drafting.
Max Borghi and Devontae Price, who both went to the Colts.
Yeah, CJ Verdell went there too.
Yeah. And then they have no one there behind Jonathan Taylor besides Marlon Mack, who's just a receiver.
Well, Mack is on the Texans. You mean Hines?
I mean Hines, yeah. Hines.
Yeah.
They have no one behind him besides Hines. They have no one behind him except Deion Jackson, who's a nobody. So, he's worth stashing as well as the undrafted free agents, just because there's the depth chart is so wide open behind Jonathan Taylor for RB2 in rushing. So if I could take shots on them in different leagues to get different amounts of them. I don't know who to prioritize, but just getting a little bit of each on each team.
Last year, you saw my Twitter post, right? Last year, the most successful UDFA from the entire 2021 UDFA group is Jarrett Patterson.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So
it's not a high percentile.
Last year was last year was probably the most useless UDFA class of all time. The one
so far. Maybe we see something happen.
Maybe, but at year one, I mean, nothing.
We're only 1 year in.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, essentially we got from those guys, nothing at all.
Yeah.
So, I would say that it's not a good chasing. It's not usually a good thing to chase on that. But if you're going to, Kennedy Brooks kind of is the one that has, to me, all of the things I want to see. Depth chart in front of him, not good. I mean, Miles Sanders is the only one really solidified in a role. And Kenneth Gainwell, they phased him out completely last year. Boston Scott, we know they don't believe in him for anything more than a bit part role. So he has a path to making the team. He's a player that I believed in but is someone I would expected to be drafted. He has some production. And, it's some other factors other than how he played is why I suspect he wasn't drafted. And those are usually the UDFAs you want to target. Your Preston Williams. Not that Preston Williams hit long term, but he had value at some point, and he fell in the draft because of off-field reasons. So those are, Kennedy Brooks has a significant list of red flags that have nothing to do with how he actually performed. It's between injuries, off-field issues, a lot of many things, which is why he was probably not drafted. So he would be the one I would put on my list, if any. But I honestly, other than him, I think I'll pass on the UDFAs outside of Justin Ross, Justin Ross is a good player, and I don't understand why he wasn't drafted. So he is someone I would 100% draft.
The medicals were so bad.
Yeah.
Must be, but if the medicals can suddenly not be bad. At that level, if suddenly he was healthy.
Yeah.
If he's suddenly
really
healthy,
tough
then,
because of how bad the medicals must be.
He went to the Chiefs, and what if he suddenly becomes healthy? If he's suddenly healthy, then he's someone I'd consider almost drafting in the fourth. Lavimet is a late fourth in 1 QB and an early fifth in superflex.
So, he went fourth.
But I won't get him there. I won't get him there. Once he went to the Chiefs, he's going to go in the third, even though he's UDFA. Don't do that. So I won't get any Justin Ross. I'm just saying I would, if he were available in the late fourth or early fifth, I would consider. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah. Wilson, London, or Burks. We've answered this question in a version of it a zillion times. I think we take the mock down. I think we're good with the mock, and I thank everyone for participating. Everyone who participated in that. We probably won't be doing any mock drafts anytime soon, but but we'll jump. We did mocks the last 2 weeks. I think we'll jump in for another Dynasty startup mock. What I would like to do is see if I can get a few guests that week. Maybe you'd like to come back and maybe we can get a few. I know this is not the best recording time. We do it this time because it's good for us.
I mean, this time's good for me.
Yeah, this time.
Over the summer, maybe I'll be good.
Yeah.
Actually,
but
I don't know. I think I might have.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'll definitely want to do another startup mock because that was one of our most popular episodes when we did a few weeks back. But I think we'll talk about rookies. We'll keep discussing rookies and news and all of that over the next few weeks. We don't have next week is the first week where we don't have like a show sheet. We don't have the show decided in like quite a while, but we obviously will be here. I haven't decided what we're going to talk about.
We'll figure it out. A lot of rookie drafts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bring the new guy back. Yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm good. I'm down.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. But beyond that, we have anything else on the DeAndre Hopkins situation or?
Nah.
No.
No.
I still can't believe that drop. What is it with us and news during the show?
It's the hour. It's got to be the hour.
It's got to be, yeah.
News wasn't dropping on our recap shows at 1 a.m. on Sunday after the game. What's up with that?
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna do the recap show at this time during the season. I'm done with the recording at 12 in the morning is not at midnight at 1 a.m. is not working for me.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted when I do Ask DLF at 9 o'clock, let alone, buy Kyler if people are soured on the Hopkins news. Yes, because Kyler's value is from him running. So he's either going to do that or he's not. Now, Hopkins really improved him as a passer, but I would not toss away Kyler's career for a 6-game Hopkins suspension. It's very different from Hopkins. Kyler has 15 years left, I think, of playing, whereas Hopkins probably has 2. So 2 years left of being good. I mean, Julio Jones, 32, done. So Hopkins is already 30. Tyler, just curious, heard you say that Dulcich had higher draft capital than Alberto was because of lack of elite talent. Where would Alberto fall in this class compared to Dulcich? I mean, I would have Alberto as the second tight end in this class, but I thought Alberto was underdrafted in his class. He went way later than I would have expected. So
I agree.
I'm not sure why it worked out that way. Zach Wilson plus 106 plus 201 for Kyler. Kyler easily.
Yeah,
I think so.
Well done. Gosh, take this one?
We would have debate here, debating between Mechie and Wandale at the 202 thoughts. We're not going to agree. We know what I think, and we know. So Ryan, break the tie because I prefer Mechie.
I'm sorry.
Akash prefers Wandale.
I'm going with Wandale.
I
love the production profile.
I was outvoted. But
I liked him, but this guy and Jacob, Dynasty Jake, sold me on Wandale.
I don't get sold as easily.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, this was a jam-packed show, and I don't know about you guys, but I had a great time.
Yeah, me too. That was fun.
Yeah.
Always fun.
All right. So plug both of your guys' stuff one last time. We know where to find me, so I won't bother plugging my stuff.
Yeah, I'm Twitter YZR_fantasy.
Yeah, it's right down there.
Yeah, right down there. Wrong hand. Ooh,
yeah,
both got the hand right. Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah, you know where to find me on Twitter. So.
Yeah, I won't plug my stuff, but if you're here, everyone knows where to find me. But if you're here on this channel, like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. Those 4 things really, really help the algorithm, help people see these videos. Get us closer to that monetization threshold for YouTube. We're working our way there. Yeah. And just all the support for everyone who's watched this channel and any of the videos, the streams, anything I do on here is very appreciated. And I, those comments that are, especially the nice ones, the supportive ones, those are, really help keep the channel going and just make me happy. So keep that up. You guys have all been great. And then I'll give you an answer to this really quickly. I'll take the Pittman side because I don't want Smith anymore. So we'll be back here next week at 3 p.m. Eastern, just like always. unless there's any breaking news between now and then. And if so, I will give you guys a surprise solo show. But otherwise, see you in a week. Peace.
It is.